Warning: the following TTRPG stream is intended for mature audiences and may contain material that is not suitable for all viewers. Viewers who may be sensitive to graphic content should proceed to the video description below, where timestamps of such events are provided to the best of our ability. Viewer discretion is advised. Thank you. Hello, my fellow folk from the past, present, and future. Welcome to the 13th episode of Season of War, the first campaign for Lore Weavers TTRPG. Now, before we jump into our quick introductions here, we do have just a couple short announcements. We just got started in 2024, and we have a lot more we want to try to bring to you in 2025. We're looking forward to attempting to attend more cons around the US and potentially Canada. Releasing some more custom content on Drive-Thru RPG, maybe doing some one-shots with other characters and settings, possibly even a different GM. And, of course, you can maybe expect some other outlier content as well. You never know if Billy and I will stream a Civ 6 game or any other things like that. But thank you for bearing with us 2024. We're excited for 2025, and it's been a hell of a journey. Thank you all. To bring it in, we're just going to get started on some announcements, or introductions here, starting with Autumn.
Yo, I'm Autumn. I play Kosh, the Dragonborn Paladin.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. That'll leave us over to Tables, who's playing Alphadon.
Hello. I'm Tables, and I play Alphadon Uruk Criscolin, the Unia wizard, and Frostwalker.
Still doesn't know how to.
Don't say it like a question mark. Yes, our Onia wizard friend, which will bring us over to Rez, who plays Gax.
Hello, my name is Rez. I play Gax the Gnoll Monk, and I'm excited to keep playing him.
Beautiful. Leaving us over to our penultimate introduction, Billy, who is playing Sushi.
Yes, hello, I'm Billy. I'll be playing Sushi, a little goblin rogue druid. And, yeah.
There you go. I'm leaving it to last, but certainly not least, Callum, who's playing Yonan.
Well, hello everyone, I'm Callum, and I'll be playing Yonan McPherson, Gnome Rogue Extraordinaire. Shout out to the very lovely Raza, that's at RXZARX on X.com, who made the wonderful character art for Yonan McPherson. We'll have his link tree in the video description. Thanks for the introduction.
There we go. Well, now that we all know who everyone is, I think we should get into things tonight. And as we get into our setting here, it's about 11 p.m. on the 29th of Horisol, 1326 PD, as you see the psionic rogue family man Yonan and the Unia mage of Eaglesmarsh, now reunited with his body, Alphadon, sitting on the short porch that hangs off of one side of one of the towers of the Hillside Scholar House in Seward's Port. As these two and many others can see the wave of lit lanterns across the sky responding as their message of rebellion writes itself, needling itself into the hearts and souls of the people of Seward's Port. You see the lanterns turn on all throughout the city as people finally have a cause. People are asking, what's the disturbance in the sky? They're going out looking and being inspired. And somewhere in the upper ward, not too far from where we find our two, I guess you could say, heroes in this moment, this is being written by a young sympathizer. A spark in the darkness of the world, embers in the souls of the forgotten, Oh, from our cowardice have we unfurled. Oh, how the powerful always forget about the downtrodden. For those stuck in the dark, for those who are lost, all that it takes is someone to stand up and speak from their hearts. But change and progress, well, it always has a cost. In desperation, we make excuses, for all we have to play are our cards. But they are the few, the dangerously desperate, who will stand up, who will fight no matter the odds. In their shadow, the less courageous can rise and find their destiny's respite. They embrace a better future and shed their newly uncomfortable facades. For through the power of freedom, people come together, and with the recklessness of oppressed, they smite. Through pain, they are familiar like old leather. Oh, how I pray forgiveness can weather this fight. So that is being written, unbeknownst to you both, a little bit further away, as you all see the change in the city unfolding slowly before you.
Ooh.
Yonan, what's going through your mind?
A little bit overwhelmed by it all. I mean, this is where I used to come up to sit and think, and never thought he'd see something like this happen in Seaward's Port, much less play a part in it. And yeah, he's thinking a bit about. He's a little bit overwhelmed, but there's joy on his face, joy and this childlike sense of wonder, and maybe just a smidgen of jealousy as he looks over at Alphadon, and then just looks back up at the words in the sky and just says, "I fucking love magic."
As that's rolling through your mind as he says that, Alphadon, what's going through your head?
Well, that journey was quite a thing. So, it's quite pretty at night here on the rooftop. It's not every day that you sneak into the back of a scholar house and squeeze into a dumbwaiter.
Mm-hmm.
We made it up here onto the roof. But didn't go quite as planned.
No, it did not.
No, it did not.
As you're sitting up there with that moment, because you do have to sit up there and hold the spell for a little bit, make sure that everyone can see it.
Also concentrating. Yes.
You hear a vzz, 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 as you turn around and you see right behind you, seemingly out of thin air, a spinning, almost like if a sparkler were just spinning and it was creating this almost like visage as it's growing and growing, this act of magic happening right behind you as you hear, "Am I coming through all right? Hello?" Oh, God. I hope I didn't accidentally get the wrong person. As you both see the sort of almost holographic illusion of someone. Well, Yonan, you would know who he is just purely by fame. And Alphadon, you know who he is because, well, you learned from him at the Breachhold Mystic Society. As you see Usadir Belgrith, the Archmage of Evergard, and Eaglesmarsh itself, sort of getting his visage across. There's some sort of static connection from the Scholar House itself that he apparently had to break through. Listen, I just knew sending wasn't going to do this. Can you hear me all right?
Yes, we can hear you, Mr. Usadir Belgrith. It's an honor to speak with the Archmage of Eaglesmarsh.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. Listen, I'm not here to talk to you. Alphadon, you're alive.
Yes, I am. Yes.
Oh,
What's the nature of this message?
Well, as you see, it's like opening up, and then it's almost like the portal thing like closes. He's not physically here, but a visage of him is, and you can see now that his left arm is heavily bandaged. There's like blood that is soaked through some of the bandages. He looks exhausted, like he's just been in some fight. And he goes, "Well, to be perfectly honest, your message just reached the king earlier today, and well, he didn't have it in him to. It was a long day for all. But I managed to scrape a little bit of energy left and check in on an old pupil of mine."
This is regarding the ships on their way to Evergard?
Well, ships on their way from where?
The capital of the White Barony.
Well, we are aware of those, but no, this is not regarding that, Alphadon. We heard you're starting somewhat of a rebellion down here. You can talk now, by the way.
If this is a private conversation, I don't need to. But
Well, you're involved.
well, yes, I'm involved in the rebellion. Out of character, Jack, because Yonan's ego is feeling slightly bruised, and he wants to show off. Is there any way Yonan could tinker with the stuff around this room where this is happening to lessen the magical interference from the scholar's house?
Give me a Arcana check, please.
All right, Arcana. I rolled a 15, but I am going to burn a psionic energy die.
Okay.
So that brings that 15 to 17.
17? It's tough. Because you're looking around. It is dark out. It's night, you know. The wind is blowing a little bit, but it's not like it's raining or anything. As you're looking around to the 17, you see there are like etchings into like from the tower. You have your porch that's sort of hanging off to the side, but from the top of the tower there is a large sort of like metal pike that attracts like it's kind of like acts as a lightning rod in a way. But that might have something to do with it. There's some symbols on it. You're not sure what would happen if you scratched one out though.
All right, not gonna mess with that if I can't. I knew that was a long shot. But, yes, we're, a lot is happening. There's, going on down here in, the Empire. There are certain events and information that would likely be of great interest to the folks in Eaglesmarsh. I don't know how long this spell lasts. So, is this gonna be a long
We're gonna be
conversation?
perfectly fine. We have some time.
Okay,
Go
where to start?
Quick, before we get into anything else, I did want to just make sure you know, Alphadon, unfortunately, Haskir, when he was returning with the note, ran into Zorgak, your father. He was, assisting in, leading a unit on the front lines in the battle for the Rotten Pass.
Is my father all right?
I think so. I'm afraid he, went AWOL with
Father
some of
did
his
what?
best men.
Ooh. Father.
Correct, yes. He left only one message, that he had to go because he had to save his son.
Oh. Okay, well.
Now, he's not going to... I know that there are Empire troops moving to your location. You're in Seward's Port, that is correct, right?
Yes, that is correct. I then lean over and look
Mhm.
over my shoulder.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, if you could just spin me a little bit.
Show the box.
Perfect.
Now, I was able to track him down somewhat recently, and on the hush, am working on organizing a small group of mages to find your father's platoon that all went AWOL, and perhaps assist them in some travel.
I will.
So you can expect some backup.
I will very much appreciate that. Thank you. I will message him. Buy it.
He will. Now, you know, and he knows that he will face harsh penalties when he returns. Quite possibly the death penalty.
Ooh.
But I will do what I can. We can't have our leaders abandoning the front lines in a time of war. Not even for their children. However, since he's already taken this course of action, I might as well help him be a bit more efficient with it. So I figured I'd give you a call, let you know, now that I know that you're alive. You don't look like you aged.
Well,
You're like
funny
30
story.
You're like 36, 37 now, correct?
Well, I spent some time in a different form, so I basically.
He was a barrel. This one. He was a barrel.
Oh, there's so
Basically-
much to unpack. And you see as he goes to crack his neck, I want both of you to give me a perception check for me.
He's my bear.
Perception.
Where did you come from?
Perception.
He was a barrel.
That's just too
I
much
rolled
to
an
unpack.
8.
You rolled an 8? Okay. He looks like he's in pain.
Perception. Oh no. That's a 17, natural 18 for a
17?
17.
You're able to actually see that from like the bandage that he has on his left arm, and it is in a sling right now. Crawling up from the bandages up the side of his neck, almost like it's following his veins, you just see a little bit of this black sort of energy. It looks necrotic, crawling its way up his neck a little bit.
Are you alright? You should see a cleric about that.
I'm perfectly fine.
Perfectly fine. You look like you got into a arm wrestling contest with a manicore.
No, I got in one with a Silvar.
So you fought him face to face?
Well, one of his faces.
He used his hemo magic on you, didn't he? The bloody hemo magic thing.
He did something, but fear not, I'm a learned man. I'll figure it out.
And you came out of it better looking than Althadon did, because Silvar's the reason he spent 10 years as a fucking barrel.
Told you not to take that internship, but
Well, it looked good at the time.
it always does. Apparel. Okay, there's just too much to unpack there. Is there any other information you wish for me to pass along? Althadon, I can reach out to your mother too. Make sure that she knows that you're alive.
That would be very appreciated. I've been trying to convince her, and she isn't believing me. Another news that Aboleth that's been terrorizing the city has been killed.
Oh yeah, there was something down there, fucking up the water.
Wait,
It's been
you
dealt
lot
with.
knew even in Eaglesmarsh?
We knew that the water was fucked up in Seaward's Port. It would make sense that it was in Aboleth. We didn't go look. That's, to be frank, not our problem.
Yes, outside your jurisdiction.
Fuck this course, not anyone's problem but my. It's fine. It's fine.
You killed
We
it, though.
killed it.
So, yeah,
Yes, we killed it.
that's a win for the. What do you two call yourselves?
We're part of the Plumbers, and it's part of a larger, aligned with a larger organization known as the Joint Insurgents.
The Joint Insurgents, I recognize. Never met the Greyhawks, but I've heard good things. Oh, one of our best artificers has finished working on the new arm for Master Chiron. He should be getting it shortly.
That's good to hear.
Oh, that's lovely. That's lovely.
There's a gun in it.
Of course it bloody does.
I'm sure he will enjoy that.
Mr. Belgrith, are you familiar with something called an Aushitri?
Ow, shitty.
Aushitri? Am I saying that right, Alphadon?
I do not know what you're trying to say.
The thing that the thing that the Emperor is trying to take his family members to, the sacrifice thing.
Oh, Aushtree.
Aushitri.
I thought that was just a
Gnomish accents.
folktale.
I don't think so. I've got very reliable information that the current Liston Emperor is attempting to use it, using the blood of his own kinfolk.
Motherfucker.
Oh,
I'd
it's...
completely forgotten about that. Thank you for reminding me.
Well, if we
Yeah,
can
there's-
hold the Rotten Pass, then we'll keep it in mind. But frankly, now with our weakened units, that is an if.
Well, hopefully we'll be able to pull some of the heat off. We're getting... The idea here in town is to start a rebellion here in the south, sort of take control one city at a time, force the Empire to fight a war at two fronts. We've managed to very much piss off a rather high-ranking figure in the army. He's likely calling in backup, so that's might...
Well, now that you're sending my father,
I'm not sending it. Your father went AWOL.
well, is there any way you could fudge the paperwork so that...
Listen, it's already out. The army knows. I wasn't the first one to find out. Alphadon, there's no way to hide an entire platoon just leaving like that. The front lines, 30 men or so, all Frostwalkers. Very specialized.
All Frostwalkers?
Everyone.
Well, that's useful.
Uldaku holds finest, yes.
Is a... Well, the people of Seaward's Port are very appreciative, and it might be in everyone's interest. Not just Alphadon and his family, but also your interest, Eaglesmarsh's interests. If the people here in Seaward's Port aren't made aware of the fact that this is not a sanctioned mission and might be led to a misleading conclusion that this is an official emissary from Eaglesmarsh to aid in defeating the Empire.
That sounds much better. If you can handle, spreading that propaganda, that would be much appreciated.
Yes, it's helpful that we have a common enemy, and the things we've learned about the Empire are, it's nasty. It's nasty. There's the upper echelons, the Emperor, are definitely in league with the forces of the lower planes. That fella you fought, Silvar?
All of them?
Silvar is something else entirely.
Fiend,
I haven't
fiend
quite
of
made
some
it up.
kind. We've confirmed that much. Definitely a fiend
That
of some kind.
and
Perhaps.
something else.
Could be an archfey.
No, I'm pretty sure the paladin we bumped into we're working with said definitely fiendish.
But that is correct. We did get some support from Azbek.
I've even gotten readings from some of the churches that have been to places he was and did essence. They've clocked him as all sorts. Celestial, even.
That's not good. When we fought the Aboleth, there were caverns there of an ancient Triton civilization that used to be located here in the bay, and there were cave paintings hundreds of years old of Silvar. Silvar destroyed the previous civilization. Silvar summoned a bloody Aboleth.
I'm pretty sure that civilization. I'm pretty sure that civilization predated the Listen Empire.
It's very, very old.
Right, not good at all. Listen,
You sending this call makes me think the fight went well. So you drove them off?
yes, I was able to destroy his simulacrum of himself, but it cost me. You
How
hear
many of those does he bloody got?
behind Usadir's, he turns around, and then this door creaks open. You see, like, behind him, it's almost like the light is coming in, like it's now coming behind him as the door opens, and you see a little, probably about a 4-year-old little orcish boy sort of peeking his head in. He goes, Uncle Usi, are you gonna... Dad's not in the room. He's out working again. Can you help him? Get him to bed? Yes, Maxil, of course. I will make sure to check in on Papa and make sure that he returns to your chateau together this evening. Now go get some rest, okay? Isn't Marcus sleeping? I'm right here! Oh, for the life of me. I am the worst babysitter. He snaps his fingers, and you see a cat sort of just plops on his shoulder. Go, you know what to do. Yes. It sort of gives him a little scratch. No. Yes. Follow Whiskers. Good job, boys. Now go to bed, okay? And they leave without shutting the door, and he just holds up his hand as you see the door just shuts automatically. I apologize for that. That was bit of a distraction. There's a lot going on. There's another attempt on the king's life. This time it was the Silvar simulacrum. And so everything's a bit disorganized. Your father and his troops should be there. Seawardsport, once I get the mages set up to assist them with the transportation, I'll make sure to reach out with another update. Probably just a 25-word sending, though. This is a bit more taxing.
Is the king okay?
You're not there, Sushi.
Oh, I thought she was okay. Sorry, I thought she was in the background. My bad.
I don't know. It's just these two that went up to do the thing.
I missed
But
it.
it's okay.
Was the king physically harmed during this latest assassination attempt?
He didn't even find out about this one, and I intend to keep it that way.
Oh, mum's the word.
Correct. Is there anything else you need? I can't promise anything, but I can work on things in the background.
By the way, one of the scale guards, a wizard, died in the fight with Aboleth. His body was not recovered. You wouldn't happen to know any cleric capable of resurrection?
Last I heard, as far as competent clerics in Seawardsport, have you heard of some young gnomish girl that was making miracles, cleaning water, healing sick? I would reach out to her.
She's a bit indisposed. She was injured recently at the hands of the Empire, so not
Look.
going to be much help there.
I'll see what I can do.
Much
Thank you.
appreciated. Much appreciated. And anything else we should mention to them? Should we tell them about the Hemo Lab?
Oh, how was... I don't think Haskir had anything to do with it, but there was a hemo lab out of the port, Barracks Ward. But heard there was a sister site based out of East Side Keep.
Well, beneath East Side Keep, anyway. Yeah, Silvar's been tampering with a lot of hemocraft and blood magic. Been creating some beasts of various artificial nature, as well as transforming humanoids into living weapons of war. And they were experimenting with a sort of weaponized rabies virus that they were planning on using, well, against you lot at the pass.
They're trying to do a continuation of Project Laughingstock, I think it was.
We ran into
Aye.
some of those forces at the pass. It is
Would
unnerving.
would it be of help to you if you had if you could see some of the notes of the scientists involved in Project Laughingstock?
Any way that we could reverse engineer or find some sort of chemical suppressant. Those folks, you know what they are, right? Why it's called
They're
Laughingstock?
prisoners that were experimented. We saw the lab. We burned down one of the labs.
It's soldiers now that they infect with it. They can't feel pain at all. And because of that,
They laugh it off.
they cackle maniacally on the battlefield.
Lovely.
That's horrible.
We have some notes that we took from the lab before we burnt it in the hole, in your hole.
What?
It's a portable hole.
Nice.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, phrasing.
We have a knoll in your hole.
God damn it. We are professionals.
No.
The null hole. Okay. As you bring that up, he goes, "Yes, please. Anything you can show me would be wonderful." But I am going to have to go now. Unfortunately, I have to check in on the king, get him to bed.
All right, so we'll send the. Well, we could show you these and then send you physical copies the next time we can, have someone from. Well,
You can
have
just
a wizard.
flash up. Do you have it? Can you just grab it quick?
Yes.
Yes,
You have a very good
unfolded.
memory. I take out the portable hole and I pull them out.
Yeah, you remember now as he goes, next.
Okay.
Usadir has keen mind. He doesn't forget anything. So as soon as he sees it, he just he can read through the shit so quickly. Yeah. Perfect. Wonderful. Lovely. I'll go back over all those notes. And he says notes, and you remember it's just going to be him thinking back to this moment and then actually thinking about it. He goes, "Oh, those notes, later. Much appreciated, my friends. The code word for the troops when they get near the area, Alphadon, if you believe you might have run into anyone, the code word is Zazi."
Okay. Zazi.
Right. Well, you hear a Uncle Usi. He goes, "Oh God, I really have to go." Alphadon,
Yes.
I wish I could hug you. I'm glad you're alive. Unfortunately, we don't have time for things, salutations right now.
Good to see you nonetheless.
Likewise. And you, my little friend, who I didn't get your name.
Yonan McPherson.
I've heard that name somewhere.
There should be
McPherson.
a small
McPherson.
number of my kinfolk who recently fled to.
They recently arrived, yes, safely.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you.
Yes. Well, gentlemen, have a wonderful evening. We have a lot of work to do. As it sort of closes up behind, and you guys have a moment to think about what the fuck just happened, as we're gonna pan the camera over as we find ourselves back at Shade's End, the headquarter for the Shadow Band here in Sewardsport, where you guys have been staying. And that is actually where we find Akash, Gax, and Sushi. Now, what you guys have been up to in this time is completely up to you. You guys have returned. Sushi followed Akash back, observing behavior and things like that, from Akash grabbing his items from the pub. You guys have returned. You have gotten back, and you're in Shade's End. So, I guess starting with you, Sushi, what do you think you'd be up to?
We're Squirrel at the moment.
Squirrel would be upstairs. You have to take the elevator back up, but they do have someone like they are taking really good care of Squirrel. Squirrel's become a favorite for all these hardened criminals and thieves. They all kind of love Squirrel the elephant.
Yes. Perfect.
I think Sushi will move like to the upper level
Mm-hmm.
and find somewhere just kind of to watch the front entrance, like a barrel to hide in, maybe, or a cart to sit under.
So
Something where she can kind of just observe the entrance of the building, like the headquarters itself. Especially being that she just recently accidentally broke her way in.
Yes. That was pretty incredible chance there. But yes, as you're observing, you know that the warehouse here, it's what looks like an old abandoned warehouse. There's still like leftover shit in it. So there's empty barrels, there's like pallets of stuff stacked up within it, just random things that look like old grain might be like in one of them. And things like that. And the entrance to the actual headquarters is through a secret entrance. You have to turn the dials on a clock, and then it opens up, and you're able to get into the elevator. So you're above all that. You could either be looking out from inside the abandoned warehouse, or from any of the other buildings that are in this closely packed area that is called Woolport, the sort of industrial district here in the city. So wherever you see fit, there's tons of places.
I think she'll just go somewhere up in the rafters in the current building.
Yeah, absolutely.
Kind of perch up there like an owl.
Mm-hmm. As you're sitting up there, I don't know if any of the other characters are going to do anything, so I'm going to come back to you in a second if that's okay, Billy.
Yep, for sure.
All right. Akash, Gax.
Yeah.
What are you two up to?
I had a job to do. I was supposed to be with Mr. Captain Man, trying to get into contact with some of my associates.
Yes. Yep. El Capitan is still around, giving out orders pretty much whenever you're ready. For that, you can send some messages out.
Hey, Capitan, I have...
Yes.
I have, a request. As we talked about before, I need someone to send out some messages to some people that I know that could potentially help with the situation we're in right now.
Yes, I remember this conversation. Is now the time you would like to send these out?
Well, sooner rather than later would be best, wouldn't it?
Yes, that is very much correct.
Right. I don't really know how this whole messaging magically thing works, so what am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to just give you a name, or...
Well, if you give me a name, that will not quite be enough to make it work. If you have drawing of person, if I by chance have met the person you wish to contact, then I can do it no problem. But you see, when it's someone that you don't know. Sometimes message can go to like wrong person.
Have you or anyone you know that would be close to who I'm asking about? Have you ever met the mayor of Shady Sands?
The mayor of Shady Sands?
Yeah,
I
back in
have
Small
not.
Island.
I have heard he is Little Goblin Man, yes?
Uh,
Big Goblin
I
Village, that's what Shady Sands is.
yeah. There's a large goblin population there, but I wouldn't say he's little to his face. Um,
I'm little, and I stab you in the face.
well, I wouldn't call you little either.
Well, okay. But alas, I do not know this person, unfortunately.
Right.
We have contacts in Trader's Respite. I can send word to them and have them send a message to Shady Sands.
That might be a bit long.
Yes.
If I give you a good enough description, would
There
I be
is a
able to?
probably it might work. Yes, we can try.
Right. Um. Okay, DM.
Mm-hmm.
Can I write down a good enough description to give to this man?
You can certainly try.
Okay. Am I just gonna have to pull this out of my ass, or is there like a check I can make?
I mean, I can allow you to make a check. I will say, if you want to do the description, if you go to the NPCs, Gax-related NPCs, Shady Sands NPCs, there is a picture for the mayor.
Oh shit, for real?
Yes.
Oh my god, there he is. Okay. Um.
I think only you can see it right now. It's set to
Yeah.
be only you. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
Out of character, does he have minor illusion?
Gax?
No.
Um,
El Capitan? Some days he does. He has the optional rule of cantrip formulas, so he can trade out one a day.
Does he have it? Because you could ask him to illusion.
Yeah, he does.
Ask him to illusion it, and then like a sketch artist.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Let me try
Just the right
this.
face.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, he's a rather lean man, with more lean muscles, angular face, strong nose, very long ears that jut out from the side of his head, red eyes, olive green skin, I'd like to say. Normally wears a kind of like a dome-like hat. Calls himself number one.
That is his name?
Yeah.
Okay. He shakes his head, but
we don't question it. His sheriff is number two.
I need to go to this place someday. But continue, please.
Yeah,
As you see, as he will start to do a minor illusion, trying to follow what you're saying.
Yeah, most goblins have like more pointed fingernails. He sort of shaves them down to be more blunt.
Yes. Understandable. What is his whole like bag? Like, what does he do? I assume he can fight too.
He does spellcraft actually. Though to what extent, I'm not sure. I'm obviously not very good with that sort of thing. But he does do magic. He can throw a punch, but that's not really his bag. But yeah, I mean, obviously he's the mayor of Shady Sands. Everything else is kind of slipping me. He's a bit of an older fellow.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, other than that, physical description wise, I can't really remember much else.
All right, I'll see what I can do. Rez, give me a. I could see a persuasion. I could see performance.
Mm-hmm.
I could also see maybe history, but with advantage, please.
Okay, I'll do persuasion at advantage.
All right.
Let's see here. At advantage, dirty 20, DM.
Dirty 20 is pretty damn good, man. As he goes, okay, I think you get to the like basically the minor illusion to a spot where you think it's like pretty damn good. It's gonna get that's as good as it's gonna get.
Yeah, it's been a bit as well. You know, I haven't seen this man in like a couple years.
Yeah.
So
Well, what sort of message do you wish me to try to send to number 1?
okay. Send him. Oh boy, let me. I didn't really think I'd get this far.
It's okay if you want to take a second to write it down. We can flash over to Akash and then return too.
No.
So-
I got this.
Cool.
Straight up the dome. So I get 25 words, right?
Correct.
One, it's your scribe. I'm here. I'm at Seaward Port, sticking it to the oh my gosh, why do I keep forgetting the name of what this is?
Empire?
Empire, thank you. Sticking it to the Empire, requesting support. Thought you'd want good fight. How many words is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. That works.
All right.
I'll send it in the chat here.
Perfect. So, as Capitan says this, because it comes from his voice, it goes, 1, it is your scribe. I am at Seaward Port, sticking it to the Empire. Requesting support. Thought you'd want a good fight. In a few seconds, comes back. Holy shit! Gax, your accent has changed!
Yeah.
You're in the Empire, huh? We got some boom booms and stuff we could send your way. That might be kind of fun.
Ooh. Cool. Did you said boom specifically?
He said boom booms. Is what he said. Yes.
Right. Okay. I'll have to show you guys how those things work because I don't think do you have those cacti here?
What?
The boom cactus.
I do not know what the fuck that is. It sounds
Well-
like made up thing.
Well, it's this cactus that you can use as an explosive. Native to Shady Sands. I don't know if they're here. It's been a while since, you know. Either way, that's not important. If we're gonna be getting those, we're gonna have some pretty big firepower. Don't know if he'll be coming with anyone, but there is this second person, rather badass, that if we can get them here, well, I mean, they can hold themselves in a fight, so could be a big asset.
Yes, who is this other one?
They're from Esbeck. I don't know.
Oh, I might know them then.
Maybe. They go by the name of Opal. Opal Bird.
That is not the usual name.
No.
How do you know Opal?
Let's say storied past. It's a bit of a long conversation that we really don't have time to get into right now.
Yes. How much do you know about Opal?
Enough.
Enough.
I'd
huh?
say
What-
I'd say I know a bit more than your average person would know about Opal.
I would say I know less about her specifically as maybe some of the, how would you say it, pack that she runs with?
Gax would kind of look around a little bit. Is there anyone around right now?
No, just you two.
No?
I mean, there are people around, but like they're a little bit ways away, and they're all in their own conversations, like doing stuff.
Yeah, so...
People would not dare to eavesdrop on El Capitan in his own headquarters.
Yeah.
But he's trying to have a private conversation.
Yeah, so as he says that, Gax sort of leans down and he says, "Can you keep it down, man? Don't just say that out loud."
This big boo-boo here. Yes, yes, yes.
Well, not just here, but yeah.
Yes, it is difficult elsewhere as well.
So you know her?
I do, yes. I've met her very briefly a couple of times. I've interacted with her order a few times, only
mean-
when necessary.
Right. So I'm sorry. When it comes to actually getting a message out to her, can you do that?
Yes.
Okay. I mean, since you already know her, this will be pretty simple. Reach out to her and say, Seaward Port will be liberated and start of revolution in the Empire, requesting your help. And then if you want to put anything after that, you can. That's pretty much all that we need to tell her.
All right. I see you. That's a message off. A few seconds go by. Oh. He lives. Listen. I'm not able to just uproot myself right now. Get in touch if you ever get back to Azbek.
Right. Okay. So that's a no.
Why did she sound mad at you?
I assume you added the "this is from Gax" to the end of that. Should have been more specific. Don't worry about that.
Drama.
Yeah, 'cause those are really the two main avenues. I mean, I could try to send
It's
one
not
out
like
to
you
them.
know, like the king or anything, right?
Hmm? I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying it would be incredibly convenient right now if you knew the king of like Skull Island, Leif.
Well, funny story. That scribe work that I did for number one kind of transitioned into a general scribe work for the King of Skull Island.
So your career path went scribe for Goblin Man in Tiny Village,
Yeah.
scribe for King, and then what? Pugilist?
No, it went scribe from Goblin Man, scribe for King, pupil for probably one of the best monks ever. Then pirate, and now
I like that part.
yeah, and
I
then
had
now what
pirate
I'm doing
face as
now.
well.
Yeah, yeah, it didn't stick.
Me neither.
Well, I mean, we're here now, so I guess that makes sense.
I'm more of a land pirate.
I can see that. I'm more of a fighting for the little guy kind of
So,
guy.
do you wish for me to send message to Kingdon? I know someone in Skull Island who can get message to him.
Yeah, that'll work. That'll work.
If this guy.
It's probably a similar situation to what we sent to number one. You know, saying it's from his scribe, raising some hell in Seaward's port, requesting some backup sort of situation.
All right, I can do that in the morning. Unfortunately, this was
Yeah.
last of magic. I need to keep some in case something happens, you know.
Right. That makes sense. If anyone asks, I only contacted my people at Skull Island.
Mom is the word.
I'm sorry.
I won't tell anyone. It's okay.
Right. Well, I guess I'll just go sit in a corner with a thumb up my ass, I guess.
Well, there are people engaging in food, drink, other games, if you will.
Actually, yeah, a drink is probably a better idea.
Right. For that, then you are going to want to see Gar, you big Goliath man over there.
Yeah, I remember him.
As you head over, I'd like to switch over the scene one last time to Akash. What have you been up to?
So after that pretty heated sequence of us trying to figure out like a plan of action, he would be going through and trying to find a location within like a room or something where he can kind of just be alone. And like that has like access to a closed door because he feels just very pent up right now.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, a lot of the big places where people sleep are rooms that have a lot of cots in them.
Mhm.
So as far as like solo rooms, there's not too much. But
Like a
if you
closet?
needed a place to go, yeah, there are closets, like for sure. And like
Oh.
side rooms, like the one that El Capitan pushed Yonan through, where he went into the portal to Ezbek briefly. There's like rooms like that just have shit like that they've obtained by whatever means you might not want to ask about, but there's like old paintings and mirrors and things like that in these like storage rooms back there where you can go and get a moment to just sit and be with yourself.
What about then, as he would be kind of like looking through these rooms, specifically trying to find one where like dust has settled, like it hasn't been touched in a while, there isn't a lot of traffic, it's pretty secure in terms of he's not going to be interrupted.
You're probably able to find like some older like storage closet that hasn't been opened in a long time.
Yeah.
The rooms where they store their goods have a lot of traffic in them because they don't just hoard their goods, they resell. You know?
Okay. But
I guess resell would imply that they bought it in the first place. They sell it.
They fence
yeah.
it.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you.
He would slowly make his way through and into this room and just very lightly close the door, like just making sure like that no one's being nosy or whatnot and inquiring. As long as it's clear, he'll go in, but he'll wait until specifically there is no like
foot traffic out. Yeah. You're able to go, like, as you get through the back, it is just a lot of these doors. There's like hallways with a lot of just these doors for these smaller rooms, and you're able to go, you take a right, you take another left to go a little bit deeper in. And you're getting to a spot where no one's really like walking by. There's not like a ton of traffic back here, as opposed to out in like the main area where everyone hangs out.
Okay. So then he would go in, and in this room he would find a corner and use some of the, like, if it's like boxes or furniture, kind of set it up. Then he would take Jaskier out of like the hilt and place him like sword up, hilt up, like
Yeah.
sitting and leaning against it. I don't know if that's like the proper up way of
Tip
wording
down
it,
with
but-
the pommel and hilt up top.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got you.
He'd put it against that wall and kind of take a few steps back and just sit on the floor. And in his mind, he's going to try to have a conversation with him. And he's going to start out as like, we need to have a talk.
You talking to me?
And then he's looking at the sword, even though this is kind of happening somewhat psychically in their heads.
It's definitely happening psychically. Yeah.
And he just, yes.
What do you want to talk about, kid?
The next coming days. And he just heavily breathes. His shoulders kind of like hunch over like he's stressed. I don't know what's going to happen. We're gearing up for potentially one of the bloodiest fights that we've had yet. Even worse than with the Aboleth. How you helped me that day. I don't quite understand it. I know you need blood. You from killing shit. But
Your questions about where that power comes from?
oh no, I don't care right now.
Good.
I want to know if we can make it more. The one person that I love more than anything in this world is in danger. And I can't risk anything, any potential slips, any potential weaknesses of my own. Put him in danger. I know we've only fought major battles a few times. But is there anything I can do? Anything we can do? Just that power helped. I want to protect him. I don't care what it takes. As long as he's alive, I still have a lot of reason to live.
I think a long time ago, once upon some far off place, probably don't even look the same now. I think I love someone. Since then, gone through plenty different hands. And a lot has been taken from me. It just feels good to be used. As far as how to get more of that out of me, well, Akash Lumaroth. I got 2 words for you. Feed me.
What do you want, a burger or a steak? Lobster?
He just looks at the sword.
Not everyone deserves to live, Akash. And there's gonna be plenty of those that might, that you're gonna have to cut down if you want to save the people you care about. If you want to make the change you want to see in the world, well, you gotta get a little bloody. And to help you out, I can't be starving.
Is there anything I can do beforehand? I can try my best, but is there anything that I can offer?
When
I need to go
you
in.
sever people from their life, I get satiated. And then, like any person, I turn that energy into energy output. that I give you. You want power? Well, time to cut down some lives. Now you know the truth of it. Now, I'm not evil, Wakash Lumaroth. At least I don't think I am. But I am a fact. I can help you. I think you can wield me to do good. But don't get it twisted. This is still a transaction.
And he looks at Jaskier like he's looking at a person and in his mind. How many days do we have until this whole rendezvous happens?
You guys haven't set a time yet. It will probably have to be within the next few days.
Yeah. We said we're giving ourselves 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
He just says, all right. He stands up, picks up the
Great.
sword, and hilts him, and what time is it?
Almost midnight.
Ventures outside.
Okay. I can get you exact details of what that looks like over break.
Yeah.
Autumn. But essentially, every day, the way that it works is when you kill people, the sword gets charges. And Jaskier can choose to use some of those charges to allow you to tack on the 3d10 of inflict wounds onto a single attack that you make. Like the spell inflict wounds typically is 3d10, and then when you upcast it, that's the reach of the power that you know of right now. But there's still a lot of question marks as far as how deep that well can go.
Clarification.
Mm-hmm.
And did Jaskier specify if this needed to be a humanoid life?
I don't think he did.
Nope.
Animal
just said
souls
female.
work too.
So could you theoretically cut like a whole colony of rats down and just
who knows? But
you don't know.
farm this
Probably.
like
I also want to clarify something on my end. Gax is going to be getting drunk and then going to sleep.
All right, sounds good. You walk out from that serious conversation, and you see Gax talking to a big-ass Goliath man, both of them having just massive mead mugs. As you walk past to exit, Sushi, give me a perception check.
Oh, I love my time out on sea. It was fun, but it wasn't for me, honestly. I was only there as a temp, so.
Yeah, 23.
23. Yeah, as you're going on about the pirates, Sushi, with a 23, you hear that message still being played, the one where it is Larkin telling him, basically giving that speech to Akash, but it's being played all throughout the city on these magical like speakers of sorts, and you hear him basically going on and on about the duel and whatever. But you see up in the sky as well, because you can see out a little bit. You see like the image of the skyrite is still up as it's like fading. You can see and hear the murmurs of people coming out, and in the distance with a 23, you hear, because of all the people coming out of their houses with the lights, the Empire is mobilizing a little bit to create like a deterrent force for any civil uprising that might happen this evening. Nothing too crazy, but I just wanted to let you know.
Institute a curfew or something.
Yeah. So that is something that you see, and I think you also hear the chains of the elevator as it comes up. As Akash, you step out. Sushi, you see Akash. I'm gonna have you actually, Billy. Could you give me a stealth check, please?
Yes, I can.
I'm gonna give you.
27.
I was gonna give you advantage because you had so much time to find your spot. So that's a 31, natural 20.
Silent as an owl.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh,
I'd. I think maybe just by a little bit. But Akash, what do you think Sushi might be reading off of you as you get up out of the elevator and get up to outside?
Just frustration. Kind of that same sense of pent-upness.
I can help with that.
Yeah, basically kind of the same feeling as less intense, but the same feeling that kind of everyone left the conversation with.
Mhm.
So like just frustration, like tiredness, just helplessness too. But he would be walking like steady and straight, like he's not meandering or like he's walking with a purpose, it would seem.
Okay. As you begin walking, you hear a "Urgh." As you see Squirrel sort of rolls up from Squirrel was asleep, but sort of opens up one of her. I mean, she's not a fully grown elephant, but she's massive for her age still. Like, so her eye just like opens up, and you see a trunk sort of lifts up and just almost like sensing some of the emotion that you're feeling, reaches out and just brushes up against you like in a reassuring way, Akash, as you're walking by.
I pet the trunk slightly. He would pet the trunk slightly, just kind of like.
As you
Okay.
turn to pet it, you see the trunk keeps now it's moving and it's moving around you, and then it wraps around you and basically gives you a little hug.
Oh.
This is weird.
Mm.
Oh,
Mm.
thanks, buddy. Can you let go? It's a little tight.
Mm. Squirrel does know let go now. Squirrel will let you go.
With that, I would see if the elephant starts going back to sleep or.
Mm-hmm. You see one big ass tear sort of start to form in the corner of his eye, and it slowly rolls down her sort of like dryish, cracked, elephant skin hide.
No.
Yeah, as she's going to sleep, I would walk off into a direction.
Yeah.
Since I know the way to the inn that I was staying at, I'd
Mhm.
kind of start going that way.
You're just gonna go?
For a
And
little bit,
you-
yeah.
Is that just as a kosh?
Yep, but for the first few feet, yeah, I would just walk. And since it's midnight, but trying to stay in more of the darker areas.
Sure.
Shadows.
So I was gonna ask what is Sushi doing?
Yeah, that was my question as well.
I think she'll stay where she's at.
You gonna say?
Yeah,
All
just
right.
monitoring the entrance.
Mm-hmm. Sushi, as Zakash takes off, you see, you look over at Squirrel. How do you feel about Squirrel seeing the emotion that Squirrel just showed?
Happy. So she would
Squirrel.
be happy to see that.
Squirrel's eyes looks up to where you are, because even though you rolled a nat 20, that's your elephant, man. As Squirrel sort of looks up at you with her one eye that's open, and you swear to God she winks.
Squirrel's
Getting
actually
too
just a
smart for her
dude.
own
Yeah,
good.
a druid.
Sushi just sits there and whoos like an owl.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
I can't do an elephant sound, an elephant trying to impersonate an owl, but you can imagine what that sounds like. In the middle of a large city.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty damn good. Tables, think up.
That's pretty good.
Not too shabby.
I like the whole arm, impersonation
Gotta
as
get in
well.
character.
Yeah. As that moment occurs, we're gonna pan over to our two smart boys on top of the tower once again.
Two smart boys on top of a tower, 5 feet apart, because they're not camping.
I think that video exists somewhere. But as the Usadir's visage drops, you guys are left alone once again on the tower. Any moments of conversation you would like to have now that it's returned to be just the two of you?
Abso-freaking-lutely. So, Zazie, that's that seemed like it was something like specific, like an inside joke or something.
It's not a joke. Zazie is short for my sister Zosrix.
You've got a sister.
I had a sister.
Oh, it's past tense. Sorry.
But the year is 1326?
It is 1326 right now, yeah.
It happened almost 30 years ago. We were out in the woods, me, Zazie, and 3 others. We must have wandered too close to the swaywood and were attacked by a pack of direwolves. They killed Camus instantly. Separated the rest of us. The others ran for help, but my sister tried to fight them off of her with a stick, but I couldn't protect her. She didn't make it.
I'm very sorry to hear that.
My parents took the loss very hard. We were all devastated. My father became more distant. My mother buried herself in her work. I can only imagine how they must have felt when I disappeared as well.
I can only imagine. Well, that's well, fuck, Cax. I mean, I've done fuck. Now I'm getting my names mixed up again. No, it's
I live rent free, fucker.
Oh God! But
no, it's just I've known you for months now, and we've been traveling together, we've been fighting together. You've saved my life more than once, and I don't know, it still feels like I barely know you.
Well, I haven't been all that upfront about my past, and this thing with Zazie is still hard to talk about.
But I appreciate the trust, and I understand if I certainly understand the value of keeping some things close to the chest, but it seems like your past is catching up with us nearly as fast as mine did.
And apparently my father's coming here.
So it might behoove us if everyone is appraised of the situation of, I mean, we'll have to tell them about your father, but well,
yes, definitely.
The whole dynamic with you and your father, and you being the apprentice of the current Archmage and the friend and somewhat close relation of the current King of Eaglesmarsh, that's going to lead to some questions and likely require a pretty lengthy explanation.
Well, I'm pretty sure Sushi already knows, but
well, there's
everyone else.
There's things
yes.
that Sushi knows and things that Sushi understands, and the two lists don't quite. The two columns don't quite balance out.
You'd be surprised by how much she understands.
Oh,
Sometimes she understands more than she knows.
that woman is constantly surprising me. It's the best and worst thing about her.
We should probably be getting down.
Oh,
I can concentrate on the spell as we go. The wind doesn't seem too strong tonight.
we should probably. Your friend has likely set off some kind of
Usagir's spell could have triggered something,
attention. I
perhaps.
imagine the mage folk will likely be snooping about, so we should probably get going. I was enjoying the view quite a bit.
How did you find out about this spot?
Oh, this was my spot. This is where I came to get away from it all. Just settle in with some nice books. History, usually, but I'd read everything I could get my hands on. And just get away from it all. The responsibilities, the expectations, the bloody fucking misery of the place.
I see.
Did you have some place like that back in where was it you say you were reared?
Hearthfire.
Earthfire. So
Right, they're on the east side of the continent.
aye, right on above Skeletal Cove, right.
That's correct.
Is that one of the larger settlements? I know it's not quite as big as Evergard, but
It's the largest settlement that far up north.
is there
Like
a reason
30,000
for-
people, something like that.
Oh.
20,000, 30,000. Decent size. It's not as big as Seward's Port or anything, but it's not a hamlet
It's
either.
got a population of 45,000 people.
Then it's 45,000. That's what it is.
So you grew up in a decent-sized city. Your father was an officer in the military.
More of a ranger than a scout. My parents were actually adventurers, but they gave that up when they were raising me and my sister. In town, my mother helped out more with the fortifications, and actually she has a background in construction and architecture.
So your mum was an adventurer too, like an artificer or something?
She's actually an illusionist.
Oh, no kidding. So becoming a mage yourself, was that sort of following in the family footsteps?
Yes, you could say that. I learned a lot from her. She taught me the basics of what it means to be a mage, to be a wizard.
It always comes back down to family, don't it?
Yeah, family is always important.
As you guys are having this conversation, a little bit of breeze blows by, and it catches your attention, Alphadon, because you hear the pages flapping as like a book opens. As you look down, you see partially under one of Yonan's boots, like the corner of it is underneath it, you see an open notebook of sorts, and they're bad. Like, they're not the greatest formulas, but there are like the makings of some very basic arcane formulas for wizard stuff. Like, this reminds me of like your first like try at trying to learn cantrips and stuff in the schools, or with your mom teaching you.
Wizardry for dummies.
And I would say you might recognize this handwriting, as it is that of Yonan McPherson.
What is that?
Oh, that! Oh, that brings back memories. And Yonan fishes out the notebook and sort of dusts it off. And you see from the jacket, like, this is very old. Like, this is over... Like, this notebook has been sitting here in this, like, little clubhouse for at least 10 years. Or probably, maybe not 10 years, but somewhere around that ballpark.
Mm-hmm.
Over 5.
Yes,
Certainly.
definitely. And it's, yeah, very rough looking. Spine is bent, but yeah.
Your handwriting hasn't improved.
You sound like me bloody sister. Believe it or not, I actually applied to the mage school, to the wizard school, here in right here in the scholar's house. They wouldn't let me through the front door, Arthadon. They laughed at me.
You know, I could help you with your studies. That one right there actually looks really good. You just need to change that sigil there, and I think you've got it.
You know, I just might take you up on that offer. I didn't really have a lot of teachers growing up to help with that. It's all mostly just stuff I picked up in books, but certainly it didn't have a fella like Mr. Belgrith there to teach me. But I imagine you'd be a fine teacher, Arthadon. I hope you wouldn't mind giving me a few pointers, and who knows, maybe Yonan McPherson can pick up a bit of magic.
Well, you already have some magic. You just need some structure to go along with it.
I certainly be. Oh, wouldn't the stuffed shirts here in the Scholar House see this? A McPherson becoming a bloody mage.
As you grab the book and you guys begin to make your way down, that's where we're going to take our first break. So everyone can, do all the things we need to do. And then we'll jump right back in here. With you guys are still at the Scholar House. There might be some things you can find on your way out there. Or if you just want to get out as quickly as possible, that's understandable as well. But we'll return to that and everyone else and the entire rest of the list of things you need to do to get ready for this this meetup with one Adonis Larkin. Yeah. But all that'll be coming after the break. So see y'all soon.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, that conversation with Akash did not go at all like I was expecting.
Feed me.
No,
Feed
I was
me,
expecting
father.
Akash to be like, all right, I felt that dark power coming from you, and I can't let you tempt me like that again. I don't want you trying to take control. And no, Akash was like, yes, that dark power felt excellent. Where can I get more?
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
So for Akash, right? He's gonna have to feed this sword. So he's basically the caretaker for this sword, right? You could say almost fatherly. Akash, daddy?
God.
Don't make it weird.
Daddy Akash?
Papa, how are you doing?
Papa.
He'd be sword
You
father.
gotta.
I am the sword father.
May I have
He's
another?
not a father. He's just providing materially.
Brother.
Like someone who provides financially.
You just
like,
want my
like a
oats,
sugar
brother.
daddy.
Yeah, sugar daddy Akash, yeah.
Oh no.
Oh,
I
God.
see through your ruse, brother. You just covet my oats.
Oh, God.
I don't get the reference. I know I should, but I don't.
what is an absolute embarrassment? The Packers' performance today. We lost to the fucking Chicago Bears. We beat them 11 times in a row. For 6 years, we beat this team. We lost today.
Oh.
Everyone,
I blame tomfoolery.
your favorite football team lost today, Billy. It was a sad day. Yours too, Tables.
I'm making a character named Tom Foolery now.
You know, old Tom Foolery. Metal jewelry.
Tomfoolery. Hung is also a character named Bill Buster. Middle initial of A. Bill A. Buster.
Oh, I get it! No.
We need Dio. His middle name is just X, and then Machina is his last name. Oh my god, that would be fun. Party if it's just like pun.
We need someone with the first name Joe and last name Joe.
They're gonna have a bizarre adventure.
Yeah.
That would be a funny one shot, and I would totally like just get drunk for that. That would be so much fun.
I would. You know, I like to think Gax thinks that he's a chicken magnet.
Chicken?
Yeah.
Like the animal? Or like people...
Unfortunately.
Like, so, like, you walk around, like, in Windhelm or something in Skyrim, and all the chickens are following you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I just wanted to be clear I understood that.
He walks around in constant fear.
It's like, that's a Canada thing!
It's like being in Canada with the Canada geese.
Oh my god.
He and anyone he is around is never safe.
The deep Gax lore.
The lore we all needed. I also like to think I'm a chicken magnet.
Welcome back from break, everyone. Welcome back to the episode, 13th episode here of the Season of War campaign. As we return from break, we find, well, the two smart boys as they're deciding maybe that one of them, that Yonan wants to try out wizardry again, and Alphadon's agreeing to teach him. As you guys begin to climb off of your perch that, you know, Yonan had previously made up at the top of these towers, climbing down, as you're exiting, I'm gonna need stealth checks from you all, and also I'm gonna ask, is there any other thing you would like to do while within the Scholar House at night?
Like actually doing research or something, like that would require probably like at least an hour.
Oh yeah, bare minimum, yeah.
Remember, it is getting quite late.
Yeah, we don't want to become sleep deprived. You never know when Jack will throw a surprise combat encounter at you.
That's true.
Yes, that's a great stealth roll. I rolled a 5 for an 8.
Pretty good.
I'm going to burn another psionic energy dice to turn this 15 into a dirty 20.
Dirty 20.
Nice.
Okay, you guys are fine. There's a chance, because of Alphadon's roll, that someone would have seen you, and they don't see shit. As you guys are making your way back through the towers here, the place where your perch is, Yonan, was on the tallest tower here within the Scholar House, which is that of the Archmage here, Araki Poleg. An older, sort of elvish man who specializes in illusion. He's been the Archmage here for fucking ever. As you guys are climbing down, you see you have to like avoid entering back into the tower right like at the top, because that's where he has some of, you know, Yonan would know that would be more where like his personal area or like secret studies are that are like kept under lock and key, and you don't want to just accidentally break into an archmage's like personal domicile. There might be a lot more like traps or anything like that that could occur.
They might even be in there, as they often keep late hours.
Mm-hmm. But you're able to skirt around that as you exit back into the college. You see, I mean, well, it is, as far as wizard colleges go, it's not like the most pronounced. It's still beautiful inside, even dark. You see in just random spots, there's just small like bookshelves with just various other random books. You know that there is a library here, and while you might not have time to study, you could swing in and look to steal books, maybe.
Yeah.
College.
I see that look in your eye, Alphadon. You thinking about maybe swiping a scroll from the section, from the wizard section over by the Arcana shelves?
I have no problem with these people.
I have several problems with these people, and I consider them quite valid. Like, I'll steal from people without, like, a reason, but I actually have a reason to be fucking with these people.
In that case...
Well, if you have to twist my arm like that.
That's what I like about hanging out with you, Alphadon. You're very easy to talk into things.
We'll pass there as quietly as we can.
All right. As you guys are making your way, just kind of sneaking through the hallways, Alphadon, in some of the wizard colleges that you were told about, like the floating Lyceum in Evergard, where Usadir studied, like he talked about, like it's a fucking invisible, massive floating compound that circles around their city, where the wizards go to study there. And they have like all sorts of different like homunculi and familiars and things that just tend to the place as well. There's none of that shit here.
Where was this again?
That was in Evergard.
Ah.
Is in Evergard, yeah. But it's so and while like that was Usadir always talked about it being a pain having to evade you know, some of the homunculi's watchful eyes at times. But here that is not as much of an issue. As you guys are making your way through towards the library area, you get to a spot. The door to the library is locked right now, but Yonan, you're very familiar with this particular tumbler, and no roll needed. You can quickly just pop the lock. As you make your way inside, is there any like special care you guys wish to do before entering the library or anything along those lines?
Just gonna listen at the door at first.
Mm-hmm.
Anything?
Give me a perception check.
Perception, 14.
You can give me one too, Alphadon, if you want.
I was going to cast See Invisibility.
Oh.
Alphadon takes a pinch of talc and sprinkles some silver dust into the air.
Mm-hmm. You cast See Invisibility. Yeah, you've done this a few times throughout this campaign, and not much has came from it, you know, every time. But you feel grateful you did this time. Because as you cast See Invisibility, you see, and you're familiar with what this is, just this glowing orb about 10 feet away from you. And when you move, it sort of follows you. A scrying orb.
Aye.
Oh. Uh-oh.
I look around.
I'm facing away from it, and I tell him,
Mm-hmm.
"Scrying orb, behind me. There's a scrying orb behind me."
Do you know who it is that's... Is there any way you can tell who it is that's having a look-see?
Not easily, but the fact that it's following us makes me think that it's not friendly.
Yeah, you don't see anything with a 14. You don't hear anything from inside.
Question.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I'm familiar with this.
0. I
I'm
don't know
familiar with this place, like intimately familiar with the inside, especially around the library area. And this is a wizard college, so
Yes.
presumably they have areas that are. There are certain parts of this building that are designed to be.
It like washes you of all enchantments before going in. There are spots like to the private section, which like you have to go through the library that you're about to enter, and then you have to sneak your way into the private section. When you do that, it dispels all active magical effects on you.
Students in the restricted section.
Okay, so in telepathically, Yonan says to you, right, we could do this one or two ways. If it's, this is someone from the college who's from the Scholar House, who's spotted us and is watching to see us do something we're not supposed to do. The best case would be walk out. But if it's somebody else, we want to do the opposite to that. We definitely don't want to be followed back home. So there's a dispelling rune under the doorway to the restricted section of the library. It'll instantly shut off this thing, but if we go that way and we shut this thing off, if this is the Scholar House, we'll have the guards coming on our heels immediately.
Are you sure that thing isn't keyed in to pass that doorway?
No, these things are the wizard folk here are very particular about their privacy. You can't... The stuff that banishes the magical effects, they don't even let their own folks spy on the non-spying areas. It's one part that's just will instantly shut down any divination magic. So I guess the question is, who is the most likely one who's having a look at us?
I mean, is there some way that I could tell?
Like the way, basically, like the flavor on casting spells is, unique to each wizard. There's some that are the same, especially like the more basic spells that you get, right? If it's someone you are deeply familiar with and familiar with their casting, you might be able to tell. I will allow you to give me an Arcana check.
Okay. 22.
22 is pretty damn good.
Yeah.
With a 22, you're racking your mind. You're like, Calrune Sylvar, no, this doesn't, the way that this orb is presenting itself, and like the more that you're investigating with your quick glances and stuff, the more you're sure it's not like Calrune Sylvar. It's not Usadir's. Usadir's magic is like, Calrune Sylvar's magic feels like more raw and untamable, and Usadir's is like perfect. Like, kitty corner cut, But this is something different. There's something that's itching in your mind. This feels like your mom's.
Oh.
And you're thinking, well, if Usadir got a message to her,
Turn to the camera to the
yeah.
triangle. Mother?
The orb can't really move around manually and do anything.
It
But
just
yeah.
follows the person.
Yeah.
He immediately casts sending. Send a message to her.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
Well, here, I'll get back to you on that.
All right, sounds good. As you guys are,
I-
whatever happens there.
I don't know if he wants to steal right in front of his mom scrying work.
If he just says mom, then
Yeah, inside group chat.
yeah, Yonan's just gonna say, right, then we'll be off then, and is gonna leave them out of the.
I would say as you guys turn around to leave, the scrying orb vanishes.
That was.
You don't know how long it was there either.
Yeah.
Like it can be on you for
No.
up to 10 minutes. So, yeah. You don't know if that was manually the spell cut off. Could have been someone losing concentration on it. It could have been the duration ended.
You want to talk about what just happened, Alphadon?
Well, you couldn't see it because it was invisible, but there was a scrying orb there. Pretty confident.
You mentioned, and then you said out loud, mother, so.
I'm pretty confident that it was my mother scrying.
Aye, that must have been a nightmare growing up.
You get used to casting see invisibility often.
Aye, now I know why you're so fond of that spell. If you'd like to go back, straight back to Shade's End without helping ourselves to the scroll collection, I'd understand entirely.
Well, the spell seems to have faded, so might as well.
I mean, you already picked the lock.
I already picked the lock.
Yeah.
Well, I have no intention of telling your mother about anything that happens in this scholar house, so let's.
Fine, let's go. Let's grab some.
Okay, you guys make your way into the public library. It's eerie in here because like it's the public. Well, public is it's not public. It's not the restricted section. Okay,
Yeah.
But as you make your way in, it's weird because like it's dark in here right now, and it is a big library, very very high bookshelves to the point where they have like the ladders that slide along a track around to get up, so you can climb up and get books. There's multiple levels to it. And because of the way like the light is just dull and towards the floors, it looks like these bookshelves just extend up into this abyss of darkness above you. But if you guys are looking for scrolls and stuff like that, I would like you both to give me a investigation check.
Fancy.
Can.
Oh, ask for. Sorry.
I was going to offer to assist with you. That's fine. Yours is only 2 better than mine. So, investigation. Burning a psionic energy die to make that into a 14 instead of a 10.
14. It's frustrating for you, Yonan, because you know that there's better stuff here, but you guys are just not
We're
finding
kind of
it
in a
tonight.
rush.
However, rush job, as you're going through it, you do find a book that probably contains like something where you could learn a spell from it on the inside. The history and timeline that led up to the creation of the spell Distort Value. So it's like a history book on how it was created, but within it, there's probably something you can copy to get the spell, which is a first level illusion spell.
I heard about this. There were some kind of odd acquisitions involved in the incorporation of the spell.
That fits you.
But after spending some time, you're unable to find really anything else. As you guys exit the Hillside Scholar House, I'm going to need one more round of stealth checks from you guys to make your way back to Shade's End itself.
Uh-oh.
Hey.
Okay, that's a 10.
10.
Roll a 7 for a
Bear
10.
with me, my roll 20 just crashed, so I need to
Roll 20
reset it.
moment.
That is okay.
In the meantime, Althadon sent the short message. Mother, was that you scrying at the Seaward Port Scholar House?
15.
Oh, is that where you were? I'm sorry. I didn't think it was possible you were alive. I love you.
Oh.
Why was your friend picking that? And then it ends.
Mom!
Mom!
Not in
We're
front of
doing-
my friend.
It was my house. I forgot the keys.
We're doing
Keys to my
doing
other bags.
espionage,
Doesn't work
Mom.
that way. Only 2 messages sending.
I know. Just being funny.
Yep, I know.
I rolled a 15, by the way, and I'm all out of psionic energy die.
Perfect. As you guys are making your way back, both of you give me perception checks one more time.
We go
Um,
down,
12 and a
down.
half.
Making my way.
Perception.
That's somebody else's joke.
Minus
That's
One.
true. It is.
that. I rolled a
There's
9.
I do sing that
22.
song now.
Rolled a 9 for an 8.
All
Natural 19. Here we go.
right,
You on the
22.
card.
As you guys are making your way back, you hear the effects of what you guys did are making their way through the city. Part of that is the Empire mobilizing, and you hear orders being shouted. People are being dragged out of their houses. They say, "Are you hiding the rebels?" Things along those lines. You hear shots from like muskets happen occasionally throughout the city.
Ooh.
And it's just a general time of duress. And as you guys are making your way, you hear, "Halt! That way!" And you turn around and you see there's a group of guards who are yelling at some kids that ran in the other direction. And you go, "Oh, thank God." And Yonan, is only because you rolled this good on the perception that you grab Althadon and yank him into the alley as you hear the a peacekeeper, a massive, this one's probably like 11 feet tall, hulking metal figure as it curves around the corner, full faceplate, no eye holes, mouth holes or anything, as it sort of turns its helmet over to you. They move almost mechanically, though you know that they have blood because Kyron Greyhawk put a piece of dynamite inside their armor and blood came out. But as you guys are hiding in here along the side, the peacekeeper stops for a second right outside this little like crevice. Saying an alley would be a generous term for what this is. It's more of like a crack between buildings that are so close together as you slid into it.
Crawl space.
Yes, as the peacekeeper stops for a second. stops for a second. Is there anything you guys would like to do in this moment, or are you just going to stay put?
Staying put.
Fireball.
Power word kill.
Yes. I'll step back further if possible.
As it turns and looks directly at both of you, you're hiding in this crawl space in the alley. It stops. And oh god, those few heartbeats that it stops feels like forever. As it begins to take a step towards you, ting! On the side of it, an arrow hits. And then you hear, yeah, come on, this way, you big fuck. Come on. And a voice, none of you can put a name or a face to this voice, but you've heard it around Shade's End. Just one of the Shadow Band members, as the Peacekeeper turns and begins to give chase to this guy, freeing you.
Oh, fuck me.
Make a couple rolls.
I am going to poke out the corner, give Frost at the back of his head, and start running in the opposite direction. Hopefully that'll slow him down enough for that guy to get away.
Go ahead and roll the hit.
Okay. Frost. That's 21 to hit. I don't. Do I have this stuff out?
You would have, yeah.
Probably had it out to walk around with.
Give me 1 second. I need to, yeah. Hold on. That might not hit.
Yeah, if it does, that would deal 9 cold damage.
Okay. Damn it.
I know that they have anti-magic vision,
There it is.
but if I'm aiming at the back of their body, it will not be blocked by that, right?
It is not.
Oh god.
21 just misses.
Just miss.
Oh no!
As you throw the ray of frost, the piece, it just glances right off, and you see it, like, from another area, a peacekeeper begins moving towards your location, like, instantly. Like, the information that it got hit in the back, it's not, like, super close to you. You could hear it coming from a distance, but you guys need to get out quickly.
Okay, so it did not stop that one.
No.
But
And another one's on the way.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, let's get out of there.
All right.
I can throw another one and then start walking away.
Actually, wait. Hold on. I know this area of the city. Are there nearby in this areas? Are there any like buildings that are built above like a large like basement in like are there any like collapsing buildings built over where children are warned not to enter because the floor is a bit unstable?
In the area of the city that you guys are, because you made your way away from the Hillside Scholar House a little bit, that spots like that would just start to be popping up, but they are a little bit rare.
We could try. All right, let's try running for it. But there's a few. If we have to fight one, there's a few tricks I could try. I've got the home field advantage.
They responded pretty fast. We don't want to be stuck between them.
No, they seem to be able to. There's some kind of telepathic communication. There's.
As you rush, you guys, I mean,
Yeah, we're saying
as this quick conversation, you're moving, you can hear the Peacekeeper rush, like chasing after the guy. all you hear is a no, and then a.
Let's not let a sacrifice be in vain. Let's get out of here.
So how close is the peacekeeper that's after us?
Well, it's moved. You guys have moved away from that location. It has moved over. I mean, it's 150 or so feet away, probably, but it's got to make its way through city streets, so it's not like a direct line, you know. You guys got time. You're able to make it away. The peacekeeper that was looking at you and got distracted by the shadow band has now completed its objective and is just searching around for a second.
I am really looking forward to knocking a few of these things off the streets.
As do I, but
But you're right, trapping one, just taking out wouldn't do much if they can summon back up immediately. We need to have a plan to take these things. Find some way to lock it down into a fight.
we'd have to get one separated. We don't know the range at which they communicate.
Wonder if we've got, do you know any magic that can interfere with that kind of communication, create a kind of a dead zone?
Not sure. The closest I can think of is non-detection, but that is more for active scrying.
Well, you would know, Tables, the type of magic that would be classified as stuff that would impact other magic around is your specialty. It's abjuration. Abjuration doesn't have to be just like a shield or temporary HP or anything like that. It can be repelling certain effects, making sure that a zone is safe so that it can't be spied upon.
Yeah, I'm looking up the thing for non-detection. The target you hide from divination magic. Oh, can be a will. Can't be. Oh, it says will. The target can be a willing creature.
Mm-hmm.
Or a place or
So you can't target an unwilling creature and just make it invisible to magic.
Not with the way that the spell comes as stock, but if you customize things, spend time in research and development, there are possible ways to do.
That's a pricey spell.
We got 3 days. We can maybe fuck around a little.
Either way, as you guys are making your way back, Sushi, you see Akash as he walks off, and you have that moment with Squirrel. Are there any... It's going to be a bit before those guys get back. Before we jump over to Akash quickly, is there any, small thing Sushi wants to do, or just keeping watch and making sure that that is good tonight? That is a valuable task.
So essentially, Sushi will be pretending to be an owl, making watch a game for her. Even though she doesn't know how to transform into other creatures, she's gonna pretend to be one anyway. And she'll sit there, kind of doze off, slowly open up an eye, wake up, look around the room again, go back down her little owl pose, and
as you
do that throughout the night.
As you look around, Sushi, remarkably, one of the times you open your eyes, there's an owl sitting right in front of you, staring at you. Ooh!
Oh.
Ooh! Ooh!
She who's back as she goes to pluck at it, like gently, like to
You pluck at it, you realize you are not an owl. You're still Sushi. You headbutt this owl as it sort of flies away and poofs into the familiar form of Sergeant Case. I also rolled a natural 20 on his perception, by the way, to find you. So I did roll for that, I promise. And he pops out and he goes, "Really, Sushi? You don't... A woman of your skills, you don't know how to change?
I can change to some things.
Can you show me?
She turns into a swarm of snakes as they start just like dripping off the rafters, falling down.
I can change into a problem.
Sushi, that's incredible. You should come back out of snake form so you can stop hissing at me.
You see the one that's sitting there hissing on the rafters. The rest kind of dissipate as that one turns back into Sushi.
Yes. Thank you. I needed to talk to you. That's remarkable. You know, most folk aligned with the wonderful magic of nature, as one would say, that are in tune with it, can't turn into multiple things at the same time. That's a unique gift you have. You're a very special young lady.
Well, when I fell into into like a pit of these snakes.
A snake of pits. I've been there.
Alphadon was with me, but the snakes they were friendly
To you, because you gave them a chance to be. And that's what people who don't work in the same way that we do, they don't understand that. That, you know, to you, a creature might be aggressive. Well, in reality, you just stepped on their house.
People don't understand.
No, they do not. But you do. You do.
With some things, yes. Other people don't seem to think so.
I'm going to teach you a couple lessons tonight, Sushi. Would you be okay with that?
If it involves pretending to be an owl, I'm okay with it.
That's actually lesson 1.
Giant smirk on her face.
That is actually lesson 1. Now, what do you know about owls? And as that sort of fades off, Billy, I want you to give me a survival or nature check, please.
Sure. Survival. 22.
And you get actually roll a d4 and add it to that. Is that from your from winning the Gauntlet of Heroes? 25. 25 is fucking good. In a short period of time, I think for Sushi, like, Sushi spends so much time interacting with people that view the world in such a different way. This is your character, take this as you will. I think it might almost be refreshing for Sushi to spend a little bit of time with a guy like Case, who, while he is, like, you know, more mentally mature and all that, he's an older guy. He also understands the same he views the world in a very fundamentally similar way to the way that Sushi does. So when walking through and starting to get you to like think about like the way that he goes, okay, well, what is an owl? Well, most people say, you know, it's a bird that hoots. Well, you know, it's a very slow bird, but it is incredible for these ways. They don't have ears necessarily. They have holes that then the way that their feathers are tuned in is why they're so good at like perceiving sound and things like that. Like, and also talks about the relationship that owls have with other birds and things like that. And I think just like the way that he explains things, as in like that its relation to the world itself, that maybe Sushi can tack onto a little bit.
Well, I could see her hanging on to every word. She doesn't know much about the surface world, and learning about how different species interacts is, how do I say, she would understand the species underground, not the species up here.
Yep. So this is fully new for you.
Hanging on to every word.
And I think eventually he goes, no, I want you to think like that. Like we just talked. Can you do that for me?
Already there.
As you say that, it doesn't come out like that, though. It comes out as, ooh.
Oh.
As you, Sushi, realize you have transformed into an owl.
Yeah.
She sits there, fluffs her feathers, poofs them up a bit.
And around 360 degrees, the whole 9 yards.
Collect the transformation like Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
Does a little test flight through the rafters and back.
Flying feels beautiful to you. It feels incredible when you extend your wings out and you're able to just glide for a bit. And especially because Case will turn into an owl as well. You guys go for a little fly around underneath the moonlight. You can see the people below. You have a really good viewpoint when you're flying from up above of a lot of things.
When they go towards the windows or whatever, and she sees the moonlight, you see the owl like spook as she quickly dives down somewhere underneath more. Still afraid of the strange objects in the sky.
You don't hear this, but in his mind, Case goes, something to work on for later. Okay, got it. And as you guys come out, notice the moon scared you for a bit. We'll touch that. There's one more trick I want to show you. I think it could be very helpful for you. Be willing to stay for one more?
She whoos.
Sushi, you're back in... You're a goblin again.
Still whoos.
God damn it.
Yeah, this is what we've been dealing with.
Sushi, you and your friends are going to find a need to be very, very, very stealthy and quiet at certain times. Would you agree? Who if you agree?
I agree.
He fully grabs a flask in his back of just like some old, like, it's almost like mulled wine that he has, and he just takes a long pull. Right.
How do I keep them silent like a feather?
Well, what if I told you I know a trick that allows you to pass without a trace?
He is funny.
As over the next hour or so, he'll teach you how to, figure out and operate the spell Pass Without Trace.
Awesome.
Wow, you guys are getting a lot of cool shit.
Well, this is all shit druids just get, Billy, but just made character decisions where they didn't. So it's yeah. But yes, as that is occurring, Gax, you're hammered.
I get punch, kick, and drunk.
Akash, you were wandering out into the night. What pulls at him?
It's the feeling that things are out of his control right now, and just needing to be better. That things, especially with a group, are so chaotic and so disorganized, going against everything he's trained for, that he should be better than this. He should already have plans. Like, things are just like spiraling, and he just needs to prepare himself to be stronger, to be better, and focusing on the goal. But focusing, like, his goal, though, is to protect Seraphim. Like, ultimately, he doesn't care what he has to do right now. He's not thinking of anything else, but making sure he has enough strength to fulfill that objective.
So you're making your way.
Oh, one thing, though, I did want to add. Sorry.
Please continue.
As he ventures, I would say, a few blocks away from Sushi, outside of like her, what he'd presume is her gaze, then he would disguise self as a commoner, like just a human, plain clothes, nothing that would relatively stand out. As physically mundane as you could get.
Uh-oh.
And then he would continue forward.
Yeah.
To randomly run across a big metal man.
As you change into that to blend in more with the common folk, you make your way through. Give me a perception check.
Okay. I could pretend I'm perceptive. 2.
Ooh. Oh no.
Oh my god.
Not a 2.
You guys are so lucky you have Sushi and Gax now.
He's too angry and upset right now, I would say.
Yeah, you're pissed. You're in your own head. And the thing that keeps getting to you is constantly that fucking message from Adonis Larkin is playing on repeat, everywhere you go. The digs, like he's obviously praising you in that message, but he's also saying, I have your Brea. He didn't just say, I have Seraphin. He said, I have your Brea on purpose so that you knew that he knew your history. And the shit about you that you hate sometimes, the stuff from your past, the decisions that were made, those are the ones that he holds in the highest regard. This guy is everything you once aspired to be. And nothing like what you want to be like now.
I will say, though, in this time, with the stakes being so high to him, the thoughts of just maybe those were the decisions I had to make at that time. Like, just in this time of him being so at a disadvantage, I would say. He's like, they seem much more appealing to perform again, to this person specifically.
Yes. You are capable of vindictive violence. Sometimes pointed in the right direction, that could be a good thing, maybe. As you're making your way through, though, on that 2 perception, as you're walking, you see a body falls right in front of you. And, like, for a second, your heart, there's a bunch of shit going on. You don't know what just happened. Is that a dead person? And then you see another boy run over, jump on top of this other kid, and elbow him in the side of the head. As he goes, you owe me 14 silver, Johnny. You best pay up, or you're gonna hear from me. The fuck are you looking at?
And he looked down at the boy that I guess is pummeled to the ground.
The kid is like, it looks like this fight was over a long time ago, and the guy who's winning kept beating this kid. His face is fucked up, he's bleeding from his ear, and the guy who's attacking him is probably, I don't know, 17, 18, 19 years old. You can't even tell how old the kid who's beat up is. I mean, it might be in the same age bracket, but because of how damaged he is, you can't tell. Like, his eyes are swollen shut.
At that point...
Fuck you looking at, old bugger.
I'm not...
Fuck out of here, scram!
What? I'm not trying to... It sounded like...
This is Silverhand's territory.
Silver?
That's me. Yeah. Yeah, you recognize it, girl?
Look, and he gets into his pack, and I'd pull out the money that... I'd pull out extra. 1 gold piece. And...
How much you got in there? As a weird smile crosses his face as this 19-year-old kid sort of reaches behind him to his back.
So, as he's doing that,
Mm-hmm.
simultaneously, I just lunge my arm out.
Yep.
And grab him by his neck.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. Give me a athletics check.
Okay.
Oh, it would be opposed. Jesus Christ.
Oh.
So you rolled a 19
28.
for a 28. I rolled an 18 on the die for a total of 19. Please describe what happens.
So you see this like peasant man who is roughly the same size as this vagrant, and basically grabbing him by his neck and like pulling him up, like choking him, and basically I'm saying, look, you can leave tonight with some extra coin and leave this poor boy alone. or you don't leave at all.
Give me an intimidation check with advantage, please. God damn. And also, I want to say it is extra terrifying because your peasant man is shorter than you, kind of. And you have to, like, have, like, a hood up so that it barely covers your actual height.
That
So
20
when...
for a 30.
Oh, my God. So when you reach out to choke him, your disguised self-image reaches out from the point where it looks like your arm is from, but your arm is actually, like, coming from larger... So
Yeah.
it's a fucked up moment as you're holding him up. And with a natural 20, he goes, "Right, I'll leave. My name's not even Silverhand. I made it up. I read it in a book.
Was it by chance Johnny?
God damn it. And this kid is also, with an nat 20, soiled himself.
Stop attacking people. Find an honest day's work.
Right. Can you put me down, please?
I squeeze his throat, like, just ever so
Yep.
tighter, and then I put him down, and then I throw 2 gold pieces at him, and then I push him, like, away.
Maybe a little harder than you might have thought. But yeah, you push him, shoves into the building. Thank you, sir.
Take it and go.
He grabs the gold and fucking runs.
And then, yeah, I would...
Then you look over, yeah, you see the kid that's on the ground has not moved in all that time. And he just hears there's like, it's... You've seen soldiers make sounds like this when their face got fucked up by, like, shrapnel and things like that. There's a wheezing to his breast, the slow raggedness. He's not dying, but you can tell he's in a lot of pain. He can't really move a lot right now. And, yeah.
At that point, I'm going to cure wounds on him. Or
You
cast cure wounds.
cast cure wounds. As you kneel down,
5 health?
you summon divine magic. 5 health for someone like this is huge. 1.5 their hit points. As magic comes back, you see the wounds on his face begin to magically heal. There's a part of you that doing magic in this way feels good. You haven't always been able to do this.
Yeah.
As he heals up, there's, I don't know, maybe a little part of you that feels like, the world's a hard place. Decisions are black. They're not black and white. They're gray. So everything's hard. But this is an objectively good thing you just did.
Mm-hmm.
So I think throughout all of Akasha's sordid history, this moment right here, it matters to you. And it certainly matters a lot to this guy who can now breathe again. And as his eyes flutter open, and you realize he's got these beautiful, sparkling, green eyes. Actually a half-elven guy. Probably 17, 2 years younger maybe than the other boy. As he looks up and he goes, "Thank you, mister. I'm sorry I don't have anything. I can't pay you. I don't have any money."
Akash doesn't say anything, but knowing
I
that
can work maybe.
I'm gonna give him 13 gold pieces,
Oh, Jesus.
and then I'm just going to stand
Sir,
up.
no, I can't. It does too. What? No, this is like my mom's yearly salary. Cat. The cat did a thing. The cat did a thing.
The cat got the.
But she goes, "Sir, no, I can't. This is more than my mom makes in a year. I can't. No.
Take it. And then he starts walking off.
But what's your name?"
Jesus.
Dephedrine.
Dephedrine?
Yeah.
Thank you. No, you just changed my life. Definitely.
Doesn't say anything and
Ephedrine.
just walks off.
The last thing you hear as you walk off, oh, and it's a beautiful voice, almost like Celtic sounding in the way that he sings. Oh, I once is saved by a man. He came from far off lands. I'll sing it again and again. His name was Ephedrine. As you hear this boy, just pick up a soft melody as he begins to walk off.
We'll find him 2 years later, being the tyrannical ruler of all of Leora.
Or I'll kill him in 20 episodes. All right.
One of two.
Reoccurring traveling bard.
All of
No,
our.
We remember how it was. Well, you weren't there, but we remember how it was for our IRL game, the little drug dealer boy.
Oh my god.
That's the one thing Akash won't fuck with is like kids, and he considered him a child.
Yeah, he was. Not by Empire standards. You're an adult at
By
15
no
for military
standards, he's,
reasons.
Like, not even old enough to get a learner's permit, but
Yes. But, Akash, as you continue on with your night, is there any other big things you're just kind of wandering?
You mean what I'm thinking, or where I'm going?
There's not any specific action that you're looking at, just trying to get through.
He would so I'd be walking towards more so like the inn was in the greatest area of town.
No, it was actually in the Woolport, same district as Shade's End. It's still a walk to get there. Like, city's not small.
Have I gotten at least any chance of idea of knowing where like the equivalent slums would be?
Yes. Give me one moment. So I'll make sure I get this right. I mean, you're in an area that would be qualifies that. The Woolport district is a industrial-based district, so the people that live there tend not to be folks with the best means. They're the working class folk.
Okay. And in terms of
The
how
upper
dense-
ward is where the rich people are.
Okay.
The other spot that like some of the slums would be is, well, people that are now displaced, because that's where the Empire set up camp within the city. Because they don't want to displace the rich people that have money that helped them fund the war.
Yeah.
They want to displace the poor people that can't say no.
Okay. And in terms of, I would say how dense are the buildings to one another? Like, is this like what you would see as like a warehouse district where things are pretty spread out and like sparse?
So it is a warehouse district, but the buildings are tight. The streets are wide because they have to like bring product through and like whatever, they make and things. But the spots that are fucking like the spots, there's apartment buildings basically in this area. They are gotta be tiny apartments. They all look the same. They all have one small window.
Then I would walk.
So it's tight at the same time, except for when you're looking at like a crossroads.
Okay.
But like you
Yeah.
could run on the rooftops of the buildings if you
Nice.
were sushi or something.
So then, yeah, I'd walk further out, more so where it starts to get if this is close to any like exterior, like where
Mhm.
buildings start getting a little bit more sparse, where it is more of either near the piers or where there would be less people, like sleeping and whatnot. Even better if I find an inn or like a tavern or something.
Yeah. I'm pulling up a district.
You look like
Yeah, the main inn that you went to is the main bar that is here. There are some smaller, kind of like hole in the wall, unnamed ones, but you could feel free to stop at. But the pit stop, as far as like an establishment, the place that you stayed, that's kind of the main one where a lot of these folks go. It's open 24 hours because of people who work weird shifts in these factories or in these different, in this district. Like, there's people who are getting off work at 4:30 in the morning that still want to stop and have a beer on their way home.
I think then, yeah, what I would do then is potentially try to find one of the more seedier places, as well as I'm just seeing one second. Okay, I have armor charges, and I can upcharge it too. I'd say maybe, depending on how long this would take, like every hour and a half to 2 hours, disguise myself differently
Mm-hmm.
as I'm walking the streets, like primarily walking the streets, just changing what I look like, just so that it doesn't seem like the same person's kind of like skulking around.
Absolutely. As you're doing that, you hear
Oh, sorry.
no, go ahead.
I'm particularly just kind of looking out or listening for, any sort of anything that could be happening that's, like fights or just rowdiness or
Yeah.
any sort of just ne'er-do-wells.
I'd say before that occurs, as you change, for the first time, you hear, I agree with your decision making there. Not killing that older boy. Probably the right move.
I thought you wanted more kills.
I do. But I also remember what it was like to be alive. Life ain't right or wrong. It's usually a lot of both.
That's for sure.
Anyways, while it doesn't make me uncomfortable. If you fed me tonight, come tomorrow, I wouldn't be any use to you anyway.
How so?
Well, like any other person, I still wake up hungry. Don't matter if I had a full meal yesterday.
Well, then why don't we get some training in?
Sounds good. Is that someone starting a building on fire? And you see there's a bunch of
What?
teenagers in the
Oh,
distance.
boy.
I'm just like talking, my sword's like, huh?
Most random segue.
Yeah.
As you see
Leave me
these
alone,
guys,
bonding with my
these
sword.
kids, and you're able to. Well, I guess it's up to you. Do you wish to? I don't know. Expel some vigilante justice built up in Akasha's system.
Do you want to help them?
Who? Okay, so what am I seeing? I'm seeing a building on fire, and I'm
You're
seeing
seeing three teenagers who are raising their arms as there's like a building that is starting to be on fire. The smoke is pouring out.
So it looks like they're cheering.
Yeah.
What
Well
are you,
done,
a
I'm-
Fedakosh?
I gotta make a roll. Just see how you pick it.
Arson.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go in,
Uh-oh.
go in from behind, and just run up and try to.
Yeah. Fuck the establishment. As you see, it's like they're saying that, but they're burned down a building that's just like previously was called Sal's Diner.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah, I would go in behind them and try to.
These guys show up at every protest. Like, I swear, I
It's the same
always.
three kids, yeah, that just want an
Yeah.
excuse to burn something.
No, I'm saying that out of character. I run into these kind of guys, these guys who show up. Doesn't matter what you're protesting. There's
Yep.
always somebody who's like, wait, why is no one flipping a cop car? How come
Yeah.
no one's breaking anything? I came here to break stuff.
I
Half
used
the time
to.
they don't know what they're here to what you're actually protesting. They're just here to cause shit.
There's a period of my life where I did like some charity work and stuff and other stuff, but I would bounce at, kind of like bounce, I guess, at protests. because like counter protesters happen and stuff, and yes, I know exactly who you're talking about. I've ran into those people. They just escalate every situation they're in.
Yeah.
But yes, as you see these kids who are, it appears to be a bunch of teenagers that are fired up about whatever message was in the sky a little bit ago, and they're like, "Fuck the empire, fuck the establishment," but they just burned down a ma and pa shop because they're idiot kids.
I think in that moment there would be a split decision that was made based on what Jaskier said, and I would just run up behind them and, try to aim for them.
To knock them out? Kill them?
We're trying to feed Huskier. Jaskier.
You're trying to feed Jaskier?
Yes. Without going into gory detail. I'm trying to... And this was a split decision made on. I rolled a nat one, so...
Well, Akash, your strike is clean. Slice goes through him.
I'm aiming if they're all three of them are like next to each other. I'm doing a horizontal.
Yeah, that's exactly
Sandwich.
what happens as they all flop to their knees. Heads roll. Akash Lumroth. That tasted good.
I don't like that.
Surely you can find foes more worthy than that to feed me, though.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Oh.
After hearing that, immediately he doesn't respond because like what just happened. This is kind of all
Yeah, you're
happening
standing over 3 bodies now.
Yeah, as this is happening, like within like a few seconds of one another. Oh,
Akash, I don't fuck with kids. Also, Akash.
yep, exactly. Yeah, this is
What
sounding real.
the fuck?
Yeah. At that moment, then prestidigitation really quickly, and dart to clean myself up if there's any blood or anything, and then dart into like a very dark like alleyway away from this in just some direction, and then I'm immediately going to use, I would say I've used it once. This will be my second time during this outing using disguise self into something different.
Sure.
The flame of the basin is back, baby.
As you disguise self in this moment, resting, you hear some footsteps behind you. As you turn around, you see Alphadon and Yonan sprinting towards you. And that's where we're going to go to our second break here. We'll catch you all after the end of that to finish out this episode. Thanks for joining us, everyone.
Yeah, I was about to say, what are you talking about, Autumn?
Bro, I almost weigh 200 pounds. I'm very overweight for my height.
You do not need.
There you go. You need to get taller.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Bones, go.
Rather underweight for my height, I believe. Actually, it's gotten better recently, but because like for the past like 3 or 4 years, I've been 5'9", 130 pounds, just consistent. Yeah, and then recently I got myself up to 140, so
Nice.
it was work.
Do you like working out or like, weightlifting or anything, or just
I really don't, but I've had to do something to try and not be as stickly. Yeah, a lot of the time I just I don't know. It's hard to eat sometimes.
Yeah. Especially like early in the morning.
Oh, I don't eat breakfast. Just a dietary thing. I've been doing it since I was like 16? 15?
Okay. Yeah, I did that for a long time, and then when I turned like 17 into 18, I used to like weigh almost like 230, 240 in high school, and my doctor was like, "Yo, you need to lose weight, or you're gonna die of a heart attack or diabetes." And I'm like,
Damn.
"Oh, okay." Yeah, she was not. She's a pediatrician, but she was very
I
harsh.
see.
So it was slow progression of like cutting out like breakfast and everything. I eventually went raw vegan for 2 years. And I didn't have a big appetite at that point either. So I was eating extremely low calorie things, but not a lot of low calorie things. And that caused me basically to go into like an eating disorder. And I ended up like 89 pounds at my lowest.
Mm-hmm. One of the most. Oh yeah, I remember there was like a 2 week period, or like 2 or 3 weeks, when I was little, little quote unquote. This
Jax
was
was
like
always this tall.
when I was like
I
15.
was born this way.
15 or so, maybe 14. And I just ate actually nothing for like 2 or 3 weeks straight. And I had to go to the hospital because I was 84 pounds. I was 5'8", 84 pounds.
Lost that much weight in that short amount of time. Damn.
Yeah.
When did this happen?
When I was like 14.
Did you have like a tapeworm or something?
No, I had depression.
Oh shit!
A mental tapeworm.
Yeah.
The old mental tapeworm.
Yeah, the old mental tapeworm. Yeah, when I was, I mean, from the ages of like 13 to 17, I was in and out of mental hospitals, because I had major depressive disorder and I'm schizotypal, which, if you don't know what that means, it's schizophrenia, but it also has a personality disorder tied to it. It makes it really hard, basically, for me to make friends.
Well, I'm glad I'm friends with you.
Yeah.
Yes. Me too.
Anyways, no, I'm sure. But yeah, it was pretty bad. It was pretty bad for that. Like, it was over a winter break.
I'm glad that you are better.
Well, I am coping. That's
Not
different.
look like a toothpick.
Oh, you mean the eating
Yes,
thing?
you've
Yeah,
recovered from that part.
That's
at the very
fine.
least.
Yeah. Well, that it was just that 3 week period that I just had that issue. It's never happened since or before then. It was weird. Yeah, I have an issue with losing my appetite sometimes.
I cherish your friendship, Rez. When I get
That's your problem.
stressed, I can't eat worth a darn.
Yeah.
When I get stressed, I eat more.
When my dad passed specifically, it was how do I say it, my taste for food just it wasn't there for months.
Yeah.
And so I just pretty much had to force myself to eat during that time, and it was hard. So like, dang, dude. But good on you for coming out.
Yeah. I don't even remember what triggered it. I think it was just yeah, I don't even remember. I think it was just doing poorly because I think I just recently got out of like my second inpatient. Yeah. And it was a rough couple early years. But I basically spent it felt like I spent more time in a mental hospital than in my own home during those years.
I'm sorry, man.
You know, it happens. It happens to the best of us.
Guess it does. Well, not to change the subject drastically, but do we
How
want to
dare
get
you?
back to the end of things?
Yeah.
Welcome back from that short break as we return to episode 13 here of Season of War.
Yeah.
We find some members of the Plumbers running away from almost getting caught by the Empire after writing a message in the sky for the city of Seaward's Port to see. As they're rushing away, rushing down an alley, you damn near run into Akash, please describe what you are currently disguised as.
At this point, you would see like a grungy half-orc sailor, just more working class, just like looking like, you know, would be working like night shift or something. Just one of the passerbys I saw as I was coming out to this area.
Yeah. As you guys almost run into this half orcish looking man.
Out of the way! Out of the way!
I just I wouldn't say anything, and just kind of like dodge it.
You just let them go by?
Yeah.
All right.
And in my mind, I'm like, what the fuck did they just do?
As you guys rush out of... Sorry, go ahead.
It hasn't been an hour yet, has it? I don't think it would help, but would see invisibility show anything unusual about him?
Mm-hmm. It's different than, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think so. Or would I see invisible parts?
I don't think seeing invisibility goes through, like, illusions. I think it's more of,
Yeah, that's true sight.
Yeah. I was just picturing, though, Akash's horns and snout poking
You
out
can
of the
see
illusion.
invisible creatures and objects as if they were visible, and you can see into the ethereal plane. Yeah, so... Oh. Yeah. As you rush past, you guys exit this alley, you see a burning building, Sal's Diner, up to the side, and the three decapitated bodies.
Sal's Diner! That place had the best Rubens.
And
Fucking
just
Empire.
3 decapitated bodies with their heads just rolled on the ground. 30 feet away from the building.
Fucking hell.
What is this city coming to?
It's not the city, it's the Empire. I hope they send whatever soldiers did this to that meeting so I can put a bullet in their fucking skulls.
Yes, you guys. Sorry, go ahead.
What are they thinking? Killing civilians? Causing fires? This is madness.
As you guys keep making your way towards Shade's End. Soon enough, Sushi, you'll see them coming into sight. But, Akash, it's getting late at night at this point in time. It's past midnight, which means it's a new month. Early in the morning on the 1st of Misathar.
My brain just went to Jar Jar Binks. I'm sorry!
Oh no.
Misathar.
Misatar, the month right after Yusatar.
And then it's Misatar!
The Wisatar gets very rough in Seaward Sport. The rains are just so.
Oh, the cold.
Right.
I'm sorry.
The Weetarians.
Oh, no.
Right.
There's no
Bringing
I
us
in
back
shame.
here. As they rush past. I mean, it's late. You are getting tired.
Yeah.
At some point, you're gonna have to return.
At this point, where I'm at in the city, how is the city like separated from like not city, if that makes sense? More of going into
Walls.
like okay.
Large walls.
All the walls.
I think at that point, then, with just what I've done as a good mark, I want to try to find. I don't know if the city has like outside training grounds or.
There's like a compound where they train the guards. What's happened now is that the army has came and they have taken over a portion of the city and are camping out there and have like made training grounds there.
I think then
But that's in the heart of their compound.
Yeah, I think at this point, before I head back, I want to try to see like how to gain more control over the feeling and like connecting with the sword. So I want to find like more of going outward a little bit more to even more sparse territory. Trying to find like either like storage crates or just barrels and practice with Askir.
I mean,
Find an abandoned warehouse?
yeah. I mean, there's a bunch of abandoned warehouses. That's where I mean,
I want
that's
to
the
move a
cover
little
for Shades
farther
End is an
away
abandoned
from the
warehouse.
scene if possible. Mostly, just kind of give myself.
That is fine. You're able to go away from it and still be in the same district. Like
Okay.
it's not a. These districts are large.
Okay, so yeah,
Yeah.
as far
It's not
away
like
as
a
I feel.
neighborhood. It's more than that. It'd be like it's like being like I'm in Harlem.
Okay. Then yeah,
Harlem big.
But yeah, then I would just do that, just enough where it's like I feel comfortable, where I would feel like there would be a good modicum of like if people are going to come and like try to see what's happening, I'm far away enough from it that I wouldn't draw suspicion. And kind of with that adrenaline rush of everything that's kind of happening, because he hasn't processed it really. He's just kind of going with this feeling, and this is just all happening like after one another. He'd want to just go and try to train and attack like inanimate objects and try to like hone in like not the control of the magic, but allowing the magic more so to work through him to better like connect with the sword.
Yeah. I would say that you travel around a bit. You find a, kind of an old abandoned warehouse that has a lot of old barrels in it. Weirdly enough, it's not that far from Shades End, where that location is. Like, it's 5 blocks away. Really not that far. But with that, you're able to begin some training. How long are you going to do this? Because otherwise, we're encroaching exhaustion for tomorrow zone.
Yeah.
And you guys have shit to do.
I'm planning. I would tell Jaskier to kind of lead this and kind of just work off like his feeling and kind of like how he fights, because I've always controlled the fights, so he kind of wants to see what happens if more of the sword leads at this point and kind of just trying to connect more with it. But he's planning on sleeping in tomorrow pretty late either way. So I would say it's like 3 a.m. right now, I'd assume would that be roughly?
No, it'd be like 1.
Oh, okay. Like 2 hours.
Okay.
Enough
Yeah.
where the magic can be dispelled properly, the additional magic from, what I've done. So I'd be trying to overexert myself relatively quickly.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'd say give me an athletics check. And especially like when you start to let Jaskier lead. Jaskier leading he's still just a sword. You have to swing him.
Yeah, it's more of just like kind of that mental attunement of like kind of trying to like become like one with the mind. And dirty 20.
Give me an insight check.
Oh, 18.
18's pretty good. The function of Jaskier is happy because he was fed. The sentience that is Jaskier was less happy because the act that you performed felt so meaningless against enemies that couldn't see you. You were behind them. They were unarmed. And it felt like even on a functional level, because they weren't necessarily warriors or fighters that you defeated, he did not actually get as fed as he otherwise might have.
Okay.
So it's like technically it did feed him, that made him happy in a way. At the same time, he is a person. He is a sword that has a personality.
Yeah.
And that personality did not like what you did.
Okay. Yeah, and that's what we're trying to do is become good roommates.
But you're able to work through some stuff as you're, swinging, figure out, how it likes to be swung. He actually probably taught you teaches you a small thing like a switch grip for your sword that you never would have thought of. That it must be some old ass technique that could be used in pretty niche scenarios. But you're able to work through some of that.
And okay.
Anything else?
That's the most of it. Unless Yaskir wants to talk. I mean, we could have a conversation.
He wants you to beat this out of yourself too. So he is kind of pushing you to exert yourself as well in this way.
Okay. Then yeah, I may try to also, as I'm doing this, try to funnel not necessarily casting smite with my hands, but like trying to exert some of the divine energy alongside the necrotic energy, because he has an idea that it's there, but trying to like kind of use the sword almost to like focus them, whatever is this thing, because he's seen like Alphadon do that with things.
Whenever you try to focus on getting the sword to channel your divine, it does not work. That comes from you. That I think in this moment you for sure realize that though. That is you.
And I can't force it through the sword. Okay.
Well, I mean, you could use divine smite with your attack, and it will come out of the sword. But it's different than having the sword like channel it. Like the other stuff, the necrotic, that comes from Yaskir.
Okay.
The source of the divine power is not the sword.
Okay. I guess I just have one other, like, as we're walking back then, like, as I'm exhausted, I just want to ask the sword, have you ever thought about trying to be turned back into a person? I mean, I've seen it done with a barrel.
Can't say the thought hasn't crossed my mind before.
I mean, if you want, I mean, after this, you would have helped me enough. If that's something you want, we can try to. I don't know where to start with that, but I mean, maybe Alphadon.
Think I just might like that. See the world again with my own two eyes.
I swear to God, this is gonna be like an archdevil.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
No.
All right, then. You help me make sure that Seraphin's safe. And I'll make sure that you can become whatever you were again.
So it's a deal then?
Yeah.
Why did you phrase it like
No.
Just to fuck with you, Cal. Just to fuck with you.
No.
Fair enough.
Yeah, as you make your way back earlier, Sushi, you're outside. You just learned Pass Without a Trace.
Also, at this point, I would drop my disguise too, and I just look like very sweaty, exhausted Akash.
You've just learned Pass Without a Trace, Sushi. It's cool because it automatically sweeps away the tracks that you leave behind you. So I think you're kind of having a little bit of fun with that, but you do hear the sort of just jogging footsteps running towards you.
She just how do I say? She'll run back up into the rafters again, back to her owl spot.
As you rush back up to the rafters, you see that Case. You got distracted a little bit when you learned that Pass Without Trace. Case is fully asleep, leaning up against Squirrel, in the corner, like a level of old man sleep, with like his back leaned up and then his legs up and his sort of like arms, it's like sitting like this, and his head's down, and he's snoring a little bit.
Perfect.
As you rush back up to the rafters, you get to your spot, and then you see Alphadon and Yonan.
We made it.
But honestly, that could have gone much worse. I was expecting riots, but honestly, this is like a particularly bad Friday night. Seawards Port.
What could have gone much worse? Case sort of waking up, hearing you guys yell as you come back in.
Well, we've incited the city to rebel.
I've noticed.
Came
There
across,
were peacekeepers on the streets.
we came across a grisly scene.
Aye. The Empire is... The soldiers feel like they've lost control, so they've gone to get control back in whatever petty ways they can figure.
Suppose that is predictable. Well, I've spent the night with your little goblin friend, Sushi. Teaching each other some tricks.
Can we offer you something to drink then?
I brought my own, and I've had enough.
Aye. Most people do after a few hours alone with Sushi.
You know, she's out here.
You hear
I know.
from up
Yeah.
in the rafters. Sushi's not an owl. She just thinks she is right now. She's pretending to be one.
She's quite a hoot.
I'm keenly aware, and if you see her, Dionan looks over in the direction of the green pointy-eared owl.
You look where you heard the sound. You don't see Sushi. Unless you have a passive perception of 30.
Fair enough.
But yes, as you peer over in the direction where you definitely heard the sound.
So all we hear is the hoot resonating?
Just like echoes through the rafters.
Do let her know not to stay out too late.
Oh, I'm going in. This is your problem now.
Yes, that's
Sushi. Time for bed.
very familiar.
Yeah,
Scenario
not
for us.
looking at alter actions.
Looking up at Alphadon. Imagine you heard that statement a lot when you were a barrel. Just the, I've had enough of this, you're on sushi duty now.
Occasionally it's been done. They themselves are quite chaotic, so not as often as you'd think.
Yeah, in the background as it's happening, you guys just hear Sushi thud to the ground, or not to the ground, onto like a pile of hay bales from the rafters.
Oh, there you are.
I thought I was an owl. She gets up and kind of dusts herself off.
Happens
Fine.
to the best of us.
It was a first for me.
He's very good at it. Scared of the moon, though, for some reason.
She doesn't like the sky.
Wait, it's the moon now too. I was aware of the thunder thing, but the moon as well?
He just shrugs, gets in the elevator, and starts descending to Shade's End.
Yeah, it's a pretty normal reaction.
Mm-hmm. As you guys settle in, is there anything you guys do before you head to sleep for the night?
I'm probably already passed out.
Dax is asleep on a picnic table downstairs, for sure.
Yeah.
Should we bother trying to move him to a bed or something? I feel like he might be insulted.
We could bring him a blanket or something.
Aye, that feels like appropriate amount of respect.
We could just shove a pillow underneath him.
Oh no reason to be extravagant about it.
Hey, we don't want another kink in his neck.
Alphadon is
I'm pretty sure his neck vertebrae just look like that now.
You're right. His posture is actually probably pretty standard for a gnoll, now that I think about it. Very different from humans and elves and orcs.
He's a man. He's very much a man. God help us all.
As you guys settle in, and Akash, you return later that evening. You guys have a lot of things to do the following day. You have to create some sort of illusion of Kyron Greyhawk to, mess with the Empire as far as what they're anticipating for this fight. You have to make a trap. You have to make the barrel trap still. Both, making it seem magical, putting explosives in there, everything. You have to set the trap, scout out the area outside of the city. All sorts of things that you need to have done in the next couple of days. And as you rest one last time, before getting to all of that on the morrow, when you wake up together, that's where we're going to end our session today. The first of a new month.
Yeah.
A week
Nice.
from a holiday, the 7th of Misathar, known as the Day of Challenging.
Huh.
And that's where we leave off today. Tonight, I should say. For episode 13 of Season of War by Lore Weavers TTRPG. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. We hope you have a wonderful evening, and love you all very much. Go Empire, right? Yeah.
No.
Good night, everyone. And cut.
Yeah.
Hell yeah! Good game tonight, everyone. Some really fun role play.
I
Yeah.
was
Cool. Very cool.